We are back on the Morning Brew with Friends. I got my buddy Chef David here with Chef Mike, and you are with The Range, and you are with Soul and Vine, and you guys brought Stacy Wilson, who is one of the owners of Just Produce.
Just the best.
Just the best produce. And you guys are out of Santa Fe.
We are.
And you're bringing some extra special food for these guys, I hear.
We're going to put together a basket of goodness for the chefs and the competitors.
And this for the food fight. We've been talking about it off and on all morning here. David, this is kind of your brainchild, right?
Correct. So Michael and I are the co-creator, and I'll just talk about it for a second. So basically, we decided to create a food fight, which brings local chefs together, and they can compete. All the ticket sales will be going to charities around New Mexico. We had such an overwhelming response that at this point we've had to create a tournament out of it.
And there's a whole tournament bracket here. I love this. I don't know if we can see this, but it's like the final four brackets.
Exactly.
All of us did, and it's got 6 restaurants represented, 6 chefs.
12 chefs.
12 chefs, yeah. I'm sorry. That is doubles.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
This is huge then. 12 restaurants. Everything from food trucks to gourmet restaurants and
Correct.
Everything in between, right?
Exactly.
This is very cool. So the first competition is what, Thursday? And it's going to be a knife competition, is that right?
No. It's going to be a one-on-one chef versus chef. We have Chef Sean Staggs from Los Poblanos and Chef Ernesto Duran from Cafe Bien, and they will be presented the mystery basket from Stacy, and they will do their best to create the best dishes to
whatever you can pull out of that.
The judges, yeah.
That's cool. Are you going to throw them like some weird wrenches in there? Like
we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. What's some of the? Can you give us a hint? Like some of the weirder stuff you guys can put in a produce basket that these guys will have to cook.
We were
Stacey,
talking this morning.
You're not allowed to answer that question.
It's all got to be top secret.
Oh no.
Then they can plan.
You can't do that to us on the Brew. you can tell me later.
Okay.
It'll be all right.
All right. We'll tell you what no one else can hear.
Okay, excellent. But there will be these top secret ingredients. You have no idea what's going to be in these baskets.
So Mike and I, we pick what's going to go in there, and it'll always be something different. They'll have 1 hour to create at least 2 dishes using those 3 ingredients.
Oh, there's only 3 things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they'll be able to use the pantry. We'll have a pantry set up for them, but they have to use the 3 ingredients they're given.
Wow. And this is going to be all at your restaurant, all at Soul and Vine?
Exactly. So the first one will be held at my restaurant, and then it'll jump from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant. So after the first one, each fight will go every 3 weeks on a Thursday night.
Very cool. Very cool. So there aren't many chef competitions like this in Albuquerque.
There's none.
Have you guys wanted to always do this? I mean, is this I know that in every other industry you want to have competition. You want to be able to say we won the whatever it was, And I mean, is this something you guys have been trying to do for a long, long time?
Since we've opened up Soul and Vine about 10 months ago, this has been a big dream of mine, to be able to hold something like this, to bring sort of the community and the chefs together.
Yeah. Well, how often do you guys get to hang out, as chefs, and show off your skills?
Exactly.
Never.
Very infrequently.
Yeah.
That's one of the points to this, and to build that community, to build that camaraderie and that networking between the chefs, and of course have some fun and involve the community and a charity.
Because I'm sure you're fans of food at the other restaurants. I'm sure you know the chefs, and you're probably fans. You can't.
Exactly.
Yeah. And are you expecting are there certain restaurants that you're thinking are going to come with things that are kind of a little bit out of the ordinary, or you're hoping everybody does?
Well, yeah. I mean, the point is to really show off your skill, to give us something that you don't normally see at for example, like Ernesto.
At Cafe Bien.
Exactly. I know the guy. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he creates that's different than what he puts in his restaurant every day.
Right. And then there's one food truck too, right?
Yes.
The Street Food Boulevard truck. This will be interesting because they get stuck working a little truck. They're not going to. It should be fun to see them on a full scale, right?
Right. It'll be interesting to see what they could do in that setting, and. These events will be held off hours of the restaurant, so there will be food provided. Street Food Boulevard will be there at the first event, and we'll have a food truck at each event if there's that need for the food. Very cool. Is there one that you're really looking forward to, one chef that you guys know is a superstar locally, other than you two?
So I can tell you The matchup I'm looking forward to most is Carrie Eagle from Farm to Table versus Brent Moore. Brent is a very good...
and he is from, look at the list here.
From the Haight Regency.
Oh, of course.
Carrie, she's a great chef. She's actually really good friends with Stacy. Brent is a really good friend of mine, too. So I know they both have a lot of skills. So that's what I'm really looking for.
Very cool. Is there one chef that you know does a special thing that you want to just slip something extra special in their basket?
I could. We all have the ability to play with that, I guess.
Because you know all the chefs too, and you know what they order.
I do.
You know what
I
they
get
want.
to work with a lot of these people, and I think it'll be a great opportunity to see how they bring their skills into a different kind of dynamic and setting, and how they're able to utilize what we give them, but still put their own personal touch on it.
Right. Well, in your case, what kind of produce do you provide? I mean, I don't think we've ever had a produce person on the show
thanks
before.
for having us. We distribute 120,000 pounds of produce from the Los Angeles area. We bring 3 semis a week, and we redistribute produce to Santa Fe, Albuquerque, and northern New Mexico. We've been in
Mainly to
business for
restaurants?
19 years. Yeah, mostly restaurants and hotels. We do a couple of boutique grocery stores as well, but we do most of our business with restaurants and grocery stores. Santa Fe and Albuquerque are predominantly where we deliver. We're there 6 days a week, and then we go to northern New Mexico a couple days a week as well.
Very cool. So this will be farm fresh, not frozen.
No,
it will only be what's in
it's
season.
the very best of what there is to offer.
And it's only what's in season now?
It is seasonally available, yes.
Very cool. What do you guys do in the winter then?
We bring stuff from California, so there's always something in season somewhere.
Right.
If we were doing just New Mexico, we would have an off season, but because we bring all of our product from California, we're able to kind of move into different seasons, but they have a much better climate than we do. They have a year-round growing area.
Very cool. And that must help you guys out quite a bit
Exactly.
to get any of this really great fresh produce year-round, right?
Exactly.
Definitely.
I've known Stacy since I moved out here, and I can tell you she supplies probably the best product that's out there.
What's your favorite thing that she provides you guys get to cook with?
For me, it's
No
all
pressure.
it's all the baby stuff she brings in. The baby carrots, the baby
Oh,
fennels,
yeah.
all the real micro stuff that can help garnish your plate. She's the best at bringing
finding
that
all
in.
of that.
Exactly.
Very cool. And which matchup are you looking forward to, Chef?
I would agree with that with Carrie Eagle and Brent Moore, but
Yeah.
I think the first one with Sean Staggs and Ernesto is going to be
Because this is Los Poblanos
Outstanding.
versus Cafe Bien.
right. I know both the chefs. I know what they can do, and they're going to do some great things.
What are you expecting? Does Ernesto have a special thing? Does Sean have a special thing?
Who knows?
Yeah.
They all have tricks in their hat, and they're going to pull them out. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
That's very
what
cool.
They will do.
Can you leave this with us, and we'll just sit here and we'll try to figure out.
Should we
do
place
like
our bets?
We'll do the morning brew bracket for this. I think that would be great.
I think that would be fun.
Right. And so, how much are tickets to this? Because it's not free to get in. I'm assuming.
Exactly. So the tickets are $10,
Okay.
and again, everything's going to charity.
Right.
Each one of these that we do, it's all going to charities around New Mexico. The first one is going to the Children's Grief Center. My general manager sits on their board, so we decided to, go ahead and do that for their camp. And then we have some alternating ones that we're going to be donating to as well throughout this whole tournament.
That sounds great. So it's going to be 6 weeks. 6 weeks? Yes.
So then we'll have
Or
these
6 months, I mean.
Yeah, so we'll have these chefs face off. They'll go into a second round, and then the last one we'll have 3 chefs going off for the first 505 food champion.
Very cool.
And there's already so much interest. We're looking at the next bracket and how we're
Exactly.
going to get more chefs and more even line cooks and sous chefs involved that so they could showcase their talent too.
That's right. These guys are doing it without a net. It's just them. They don't have any of the
Exactly.
helpers, right?
Right.
Does that make it a lot more challenging?
Well, it does, because you're given a basket and you have an hour, and so when you're at your restaurant, you're like, okay, well, I can kind of think, and I have one
Right.
cook to help me.
I got 8 guys back here who
Exactly.
can cut up all these carrots and
and now
whatever
it's
else.
like
Right.
you have that hour, it's there, and we're gonna have a big clock in there ticking down. So.
Cool. And then is anybody going to just try the food, or is it judged? How's that work?
So we're gonna have 3 judges that are gonna change every food fight, and they'll be local chefs. There'll be local food writers. There'll be people like Stacy who own companies. anyone who's pretty much involved in the food industry will be having judges.
I dig that. I dig that quite a bit. Well, is there a website for this too?
So 505foodfight.com, but find most of our information on the 505 Food Fight page on Facebook.
Excellent. Back in a couple of seconds of the morning brew, we're going to fill out our morning brew bracket here and see how well we do. I don't know. I like vintage. The Pueblo Harvest Cafe guys were on the other day, though. They're great.
Exactly.
So we'll have to figure this out on the morning brew. Here.